Ned Plimpton saying, Adam, Levi, and Anthony, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see detailers making with their customers or potential clients? So that's a good question. My thing has always been customer expectations. Never promise too much to your customer. And because I was always of the same thing like you, I needed to make money. I was in this game originally to make money.
Detailing for dollars.
That's right. And the hard part was getting into a car, doing it for somebody, and then going, you know what? I'm just going to polish out this fender. I'm going to do this a little more for them. I'm going to do this. Next thing you know, you've got 3 or 4 hours and maybe you wasted on the car that you probably could have done another car for the same amount of money, but you did it all in one. And at that point, you get to a point, and that was the hardest thing I always had to teach my employees, was they'd walk up to me and they're like, man, this car, it really needs a 2-step on it. And I'd say, doesn't matter. They're only paying for a wax job.
Yeah.
We're only putting wax on it. And what I would tell them is, hey, look, if you want to bump them to a paint sealant, feel free, and we'll skip just a normal Carnauba wax.
Yeah.
Paint sealant we can at least give them, but I'm not going to pay you to polish their car for them, you know, or unless you can figure out a way to do an all-in-one in a 20-minute time period that's going to take you to wax that car. And so a lot of them, that was just trying to stop them and go, look, this is what we're here for.
That's a really good point. And that's managing expectations is so cool, so critical. You know, what we like to do, so we do all the detailing for Barrett-Jackson. So we're out there and we do thousands of cars a year for these guys. So people send their cars in. So we still do detailing, you know, but we only do it right now for people who consign their cars to sell at Barrett. So I was just there 2 weeks ago. People send their cars in that have been in their collection for however many years, and it's sitting in the back of their collection. And the reason they're selling it is because they don't look at it, they don't touch it, they don't drive it, right? So it sits in the back. Might get California dust every once in a while just to scratch it up really good. So it shows up and it needs everything. And now it's on us to tell the customer, help them understand, what does your car need? What is your car going to need to sell for the maximum amount of money? For one, sell for the maximum dollar, or two, what's going to make you happy as the owner if you're not going to sell the car? What we like to do to help customers understand what it's going to take, we like to do a little spot, do a test spot, you know. And sometimes we have these cordless polishers, and we'll do a spot and go, okay, look, watch this, you know, clay. So first of all, Mr. Jones, feel that. What's that feel like? It feels like it's overspray. I don't know what it is. It's like, well, it could be overspray, it could be fallout, it could be tree sap, it could be all kinds of things. But bottom line, first of all, we're going to have to clay your whole car. And you pull out a clay bar and you spray a little detailer and you clay it and you show them, wow, that's a lot of work. Oh, yeah. Then you wipe it down. Now feel that. Oh, that's nice. But now look at, you still see the scratches? Yeah, I still see the scratches. Okay, well, then what's it going to take? Well, then it's going to take a compound, because you know the car you're working on usually. If it's a hot rod with who knows if it has clear coat or who has a single stage, that's a whole different subject. But 95% of the time, we're working on clear coat cars. We kind of know what we're going after. So you get a compound, you get a microfiber cutting pad out, and you polish it, and you polish real slow, just to make sure they understand that this is a very deliberate and time-consuming process. I want to make sure and get this car perfect. I don't want it to kind of perfect. And you show them how much care you're going to give, and you just show them, okay, then you go to remove the compound, and then there's going to be some haziness there because it's a black car and it has, like, washed exclusively at the Scratch-O-Matic. Okay, then you come, different pad, go over it again, looking, oh, that looks a lot better. You're like, you like that? Wait, watch this. Third pass. And you're only doing a 12-inch by 12-inch area, so you're not wasting this customer's too much time. And then they see that, and they're like, oh, my gosh. How much to get my whole car looking just like that? I want my car to look just like that. You're like, well, that's going to take us approximately 21 man hours to do that. Between 20 and 25 man hours. Let's just go with 22 and a half man hours. Okay, how much is that? Well, we charge on average about $9.95 to do a whole car like that. And then when you're done, do you want it to stay like that? Yeah, I want to stay like that. You're like, okay, well then a ceramic coating is going to be the best way to seal in that perfection that we just accomplished on your finish. But if you don't ceramic coat it, then that's going to stay good until you drive the car through the Scratch-O-Matic again. Now, it'll take a while for it to get as scratched up as it is now, but
Yeah.
And that'll add about another $650. You know, so now you're elevating a customer's expectations by showing them what perfect could be on their car.
Yeah.
You're showing, look at what you could do. You could get your car to be this perfect. And then you want to, this way you're helping them understand it. Or then they say, well, I want to spend $250. Okay, great. Can I show you real quick what $250 is going to look like? You just go up to their car, little detail spray, maybe a little bit of a paint sealant or a one-step thing. And you show it to them and you go, is this acceptable to you? And the guy has a silver car or the girl has a white car. Chances are, it's fine. But as soon as you get a dark colored car with a lot of scratches, you know.
Well, and a lot of that is knowing the customer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you know you're going to do that job, try and get what you can out of that customer.
Right.
If you've got the gal who's got the sticker for the car wash down the street and that's how she washes it and she just needs it cleaned up, if you want to sell them a coating and a full correction, go for it. But know that next week it's going to be back to normal.
Right.
Yeah.
I think once people pay for a paint correction, especially on a dark car, it's a really easy sell to up them to a ceramic coating. It's like, listen, the ceramic coating is the greatest technological advance in detailing. Exactly. It's going to really keep your car from getting scratched. The other thing is education. Like you can't drive your car through the car wash anymore. We're going to have to do a slightly different thing. Do you have a car that you drive all the time in the winter in the slop? Yes. Great. If the weather is such that you're going to be driving in that, drive that car.
Yeah.
And then this car, keep nice. And you know what? And if you as a detailer don't offer, if you're not offering
maintenance packages,
washes, maybe you have someone who you know that offers a decent hand wash. You go, hey, go see this guy. This guy does a great job. Or this girl, see her. She'll do a great hand wash for you for $40.
Yeah.
And it's $25 more than your Scratch-O-Matic, but you're not causing the damage. And on this nice car, you're going to keep it in one way.
Yeah.
You know?
What I did when I'd sell a customer on a coating, I would offer the first wash is free. You're going to come in. We're going to wash the car. It'll be the first. And I did it mostly as a coating check to make sure everything healed right,
Smart.
make sure everything looked right, make sure they didn't do anything to the car. And then I would tell them, hey, this is an appointment, but I need you here for this because I'm going to teach you how to wash your car. And I would teach them how to wash it. And two things would happen. I had products available in my shop that was for sale. And so they would go like, okay, I need all these things. I can do it. And then I'd make another few bucks on the sale of all the products. I'd have buckets. I'd have grit guards. I'd have soap. I'd have all the stuff they needed, towels, everything.
Smart, man. That's smart.
They would either buy stuff from me to do it, or they would go, yeah, I'm not going to do that. They would wash it and go, that's just not me. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I'd go, well, I have these maintenance wash packages here. You can just come in. We'll wash your car on a Friday. I had loaner cars. I'd give it to them and they'd go, well, okay, what's one of the 6-packs or the 12-packs cost?
Yeah.
And so either way, I would make extra money off the deal, but I had to get them in. I had to teach them how to wash the car to make them decide.
Yeah.
That's way smart, man.
And that
Good.
was a lot easier.
Tell you what, having that little detail kit, go, hey, listen, I'm gonna do a full detail for you. It's gonna be $1,500, and then see this bucket full of all the different products that you need. I'm gonna throw this in. I'm gonna throw in this $100 bucket, and you're definitely gonna pad your detail expense so that you definitely don't get hosed on your giveaway. But my gosh, and then you give them 16 ounces of each product, then all of a sudden they run out. They're like, hey, I need a gallon of that. Remember that car wash soap you gave me? I need a gallon of that. Those really awesome towels. I'm going to need like 4 more of those. I'm going to need this. You turn that customer into that.
Yeah.
And, if you do lose your customer to self-care, to them doing their own car, at least sell them the product.
Exactly.
Keep a little sliver of that business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other biggest mistake that people make, though, I think is a lot of times underpricing their work for the amount of time that some people put into it, right? And so I think for a lot of the mobile guys out there, or people just getting into it, right? Especially when they're mobile and they're just starting and they're going out to people's yards or wherever they're going to do that job, they have to remember that clock starts the second they start loading their vehicle, right? The clock doesn't start when they start washing the vehicle at the spot. It actually starts when they're loading their vehicle, the drive to the location, the time spent there, the time home, and the time unloading it, right? And I think a lot of people forget that. And so when they underprice their stuff and you do let's just say you do the $50 detail, right? You're competing with that. And the guy that says, hey, dude, I'll do a full detail on your car for $50 and I'll drive to you. And I'm like, okay, well, that guy must be counting on like a $200 tip because I don't see how he's going to make any profit from this.
Yeah.
He's going to pack up his stuff. He's going to spend $10 in gas, right? He's going to get there. He's going to use another $15 to $20 worth of product because chances are he's probably not learning to buy in concentrates yet or learning to buy in bulk amounts yet. Then he's going to blow through the product, drive home, probably pick up food on the way home because he's starving after that detail he just spent 3 hours on. And at the end of the day, he made $12 for like 4 hours of work. And so that's another thing people have to remember. So don't underprice yourself and set the expectation of when you're going into a job, think about how much you're actually making out of it. Don't get hosed and don't, spend the day, wasting all of your product and all your time just to make a few bucks, right?
I'll give one more thought just because sometimes you need like a backstop, and that's, okay, you want me to detail your RV, or you want me to detail your boat, or you've got you have a 1-ton black dually, right? And you do a spot for them, right? And the customer's like, oh, yeah, I want it like that. Okay, I estimate that this is going to take me 20 hours, but I'm not sure. I would like to say that I want you to have the outcome that you want, Mr. Customer and Mrs. Customer. I want you to make sure that you're getting the results you want. I charge $60 an hour or $80 an hour or $20 an hour, whatever your hourly rate you think is. I would say there should be never less than $40 an hour.
Yeah.
And you just say, listen, I want to be reasonable with you. I want you to get the outcome you want. I honestly don't know how much time it's going to take me to do this thing. But if it's going to be perfect and you want it perfect, I'm going to work as efficiently as I can. I'm going to go as hard as I can. And I'm going to get it done in as few hours as possible. Yeah. But just to make sure that you get the outcome that you want and I get paid the money that I need to get paid to do the job, can we agree on an hourly rate?
Yeah.
So if you really don't know what this is going to take, because a lot of times you get into a situation where you're like, great, I got a Prevost motorhome, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh my.
And you're looking, does this move? And they're like, nope, it stays right there.
Stays right there.
Like,
and you got this much room next to the fence to detail the whole right side of it, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that most people, especially if they really want perfection and they want perfection. They're not trying to save money on this detail.
Yeah.
They want perfection. Most people are reasonable. And they're going to say, you know what? That's fair. You know what? I'll give you the $40 or the $60 an hour to go ahead and do this because if you don't know, let that be your just come clean with people. People love that transparency. They love the honesty. I don't know what it's going to take me to do this, but I'll tell you what, I'll make it as perfect as I can. But since I don't have a set rate, I've never done anything like this. Let's just agree on $60 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a good backstop.
Yeah. Yep. Very good. Very good.
Go.
All right.